And so we have truly seen a revolution of technology take place in our lifetime. And not just in this lifetime of a long arc of a single human time. In literally just a decade, we have seen this transformation that is complete. And so what's really behind that? What's behind all of that transformation? What I, of course, think of when I think about that revolution and that foundation, it's data. It's data that is powering that and changing the whole paradigm. In particular, the aspects that we're seeing that are about to change into a complete new transformation and a radical new future is things like the Internet of Things, the instrumentation of devices from not only your washing machine to being able to talk to your microwave and have a debate about and judging you about the way you wash your clothes or heat up your food, but more about that the stoplights are fully wired to optimize for traffic flows. That when you get into an environment like a hospital or a big office building, it is automatically adjusting the temperatures for optimal climate control, but also energy efficiency. The ability to think in how do you wire all these systems together so that you can have truly autonomous vehicles, cars that self-drive, the ability to move transport with fully integrated systems. And so our mission statement that was established for this role by talking to many different people, not just in the Obama administration, but previous administrations, was this: to responsibly unleash the power of data to benefit all Americans. And there's two words in this mission statement that are very carefully chosen. And that is the word responsibly in all Americans. And the first word, responsibly, is there because just because we can with data doesn't mean we always should. How do we start asking the richer, deeper questions about what does that look like? The second question is all Americans. And we need to be very frank with ourselves about this, is that while we just talked about this revolution of data and technology that's happening, it is not happening for all Americans. It's happening for some Americans. And so the statement that I would assert that we should really be thinking about in our model is we think about any technology is out there, is that a technology should be considered neither radical nor revolutionary unless it benefits everyone. We fundamentally have to find ways to make this technology work for us, not against us. And too often, we interact with a system where we just sit there and we are trying to click on it, or we know that this is so painful, that the technology is working against us. It's not there to help us. And we have to hold that technology to a higher bar. And let me give you a very specific example of that. This is Jennifer Bittner and her husband, Rod. That's their beautiful son. Jennifer has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. For those that know anything about that, that is terminal. She's doing okay. But she wrote into us when we were working on this idea of what does the next generation of treatment need to look like. And she pointed out that if you look at the curves of how long someone survives for someone with cancer like her, she's not going to be around long enough to watch her son ride a bike. And she said, hey, you guys are so smart. You keep talking about accelerating the course of technology, accelerating the course of science. How are you going to help allow and empower me to see my child grow up? She had a point. She had a real point. So what's holding back a solution for saving Jennifer? Getting a cure for all our loved ones with cancer. What turns out, what's is most painful is it's just a database. There's data out there. The problem is it's fractured across thousands and thousands of databases, and there's no way to bring this data together. What Jake pointed out is that we really need to start asking ourselves that harder set of questions. And one of the things he pushed at the White House was this idea to take a pledge, an oath. What would a pledge or an oath to do the right thing around technology really look like? And that pledge, this is the pledge that he was pushing for. I think there's a couple parts that are really critical, is what does it mean to pledge to be an active American? What does it mean to be a pledge to serve, to push our country to be right? What does it mean when it's wrong to stand up? What does it mean to stand up for each other, for groups that don't have a voice, that don't have recourse? What does it mean to really pledge to be like a citizen, especially in this age of technology? Those are fundamental questions that all of you are empowered to take on, because the engine that we've talked about is really driven by the next generation tackling these problems.
This forum address with Dr. D.J. Patil was given on February 13th, 2018.